can call it a comeback, at least for now. Bitcoin's recent winning streak is hitting its biggest milestone yet, back above 30,000 for the first time since last June. If you're not paying attention, you should be. Bitcoin is up more than 80% so far this year, and it's not alone. Other popular cryptos like Ethereum and Binance Coin are scoring big as well. Even the meme favorite Dogecoin is in the green this year and briefly took over as the Twitter symbol. But is the bull run here to stay? Let's bring in Bitcoin Magazine's head of market research, Dylan Leclair. Dylan, welcome on. Why is Bitcoin, listen, it was at 60,000 a year and a half ago, so we are down by half still, but why the recent run?
Hey, Brian, nice to talk to you. Yeah, the recent run, I mean, let's go through it. The story is completely unchanged here for Bitcoin, right? Every 4 years, Bitcoin, the fraud, the leverage, it gets completely wiped out. 2022 was an awful year. I mean, why is Bitcoin rallying? Well, there's no more sellers, right? It's quite simple. The supply held for 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years is at all-time highs, 67, 53, and 40%. Right? It's a completely inelastic supply relative to demand, and there's a growing group of price agnostic accumulators that buy every single day. It's that simple. It's a matter of flows. Certainly, our equity markets and bond markets and volatility, do they play into this? Of course they do. And Bitcoin's increasingly a macro asset. But what SVB showed, what the depegging of USDC showed, what the Fed's BTFP program
showed. Is that? That seems like a BFD in some ways. So I don't know, like how I can say that. How big of a deal is this? It seems like the government wants to create its own Bitcoin.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because they can't create another Bitcoin.
You know what? But you get the general direction, right? A lot of our audience is not Bitcoin experts. Neither is this anchor, by the way.
No, that's okay. I think ultimately the story here is that Bitcoin's rallying. I mean, along with other cryptos, right? But if you're looking, the other cryptos are bleeding relative to Bitcoin, and that wasn't the story during the bull run for much of 2022. These are bleeding out relative to Bitcoin as Bitcoin is pumping here. Something is happening, and what's happening is people realize they want to hold something that they don't have to trust anybody. They don't want to trust a stablecoin. They don't want to trust a crypto protocol or a developer. They want to hold a decentralized monetary asset with no counterparty risk. That's the story. That's been the story since 2010. And more people are just coming to realize it.
I think I got to correct you, Dylan. It's been the story since 2010 BC. You almost just described gold.
I almost did, except gold, unfortunately, you can't send over a smartphone in 30 seconds in the world for about a half a penny, right? So that's why in a digital age, Bitcoin wins. And not to have a gold versus Bitcoin debate because we could be here for hours.
Oh, yeah. When you're going to generate all kinds of people coming out of Twitter, you just... closets. People under the bent mattress, they're popping their heads out.
The reason that gold, right? The reason that 7 billion people use fiat currency today is because gold inherently has trust in that loop, right? You have to trust a bank, you have to trust a central bank, you have to trust intermediary. A gold-backed token, right, it's an oxymoron. There's nothing backing it except trust, right? So with Bitcoin, you don't have to trust anybody. You verify, right? That's the breakthrough here. That's the breakthrough of what Bitcoin is, and people are just slow to understand this. It's fine. It's an education thing, but that's what's unfolding. So Bitcoin, where is it going to go next week, tomorrow? I don't know. Next month? Yeah. No one knows. But the story here, it's a decade-long story. It's going to be true for the next two.
I think we got to go, but I think Bitcoin's had like 10 or more 80% declines in its history or something. You don't quote me on the stat, but I'm directionally correct. Dylan, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Learned a lot.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
All right.